Now, you have probably begun to suspect that I was a anxious kid, and that could well have been because I was a very shy kid. I mean, it couldn't possibly have been the sudden realization that there were ambushes waiting all around me. But by the time I was in the seventh grade and still quite shy, my folks enrolled me in an elective speech and drama course, and something unexpected did happen. I mean, usually my social interactions involved walking down the school hallway, desperately scanning to see if there was anybody else who I might possibly say hello to, and if there wasn't, I might venture a hi and duck my head. But after a while in that class, I found the idea of standing up in front of a group and performing a humorous reading like The Flea Gang's First Cigars, or Miracle of Miracles in tights, a multicolored jacket, the jester's cap of bells, and performing in that year's musical of Cinderella. It just all filled me with an excitement and confusion about, what was it like? Well, it was actually a lot like puberty, which was also in full swing at that same time. But by the time I had graduated from college with a degree in acting and directing, all of that excitement and confusion was just part of my everyday background noise. Now, after graduation, my then wife and I moved from Norman, Oklahoma, up to Minneapolis, right? She to continue her education, me to take a position as a house manager at the Minnesota Opera Company, and both of us to work retail during the day because that's just how things worked. Now, we found this tiny apartment on 10th in what had once been this nice two-story brick fourplex, but which was by then rather worn down around the edges, overlooking a 6-lane freeway canyon, and it had been divided into 12 apartments. Now, the 3 apartments on our hallway shared a single bathroom, that had once served that quarter of the plex. And we shared that bathroom with Miss Julie and the cat lady, which is how I found myself with my ear pressed up against the front door of our very first apartment. And I could hear the clink of porcelain from that shared bathroom down the hall. And I knew it was the cat lady. I mean, slowly lifting the top of the toilet and peering into the tank. I mean, looking, well, for her daughter, right? I mean, lost these many years, stuck in the pipes, she would tell me. Oh, and then that second clink, and finally the sounds of her slippers fading down the hallway toward her apartment at the front of the building, so maybe it was safe for me to try for the bathroom. Oh, short, embarrassing confession. I had always had a sensitive bladder, okay? And even as a kid. But living at home, my family wouldn't wait in ambush outside of the bathroom, talking and talking and talking. But Miss Julie, who lived in between Sharon and I and the cat lady, had a sixth sense for my bladder. And so I would slowly slide the deadbolt back, turn the knob without a sound, missed every squeaky board in the hallway, and would find Miss Julie at my elbow when I got to the bathroom. I don't know how she did it. Okay, yes, her door was immediately across from the bathroom, but she was just suddenly there. There was no transition. Teleported. Had to be. Teleported in a navy cardigan over a V-necked house dress, box of Tide in one hand, my elbow in the other. Julie, rail, thin and slightly taller than me, would lean forward so I could feel her breath on my ear. She has 17 cats and a mental condition besides. And them cats, she feeds them oatmeal and post toasty cereal. Oh, and beans. That was a mess. It's a regular circus. And when she would get excited, she would break into this little dance. Well, actually, it was more fancy footwork, like a prize fighter. Then catch herself and add, it's the germs I'm worried about. All those half-eaten plates forgotten around the cat lady's apartment. And then we would talk at very great length about each and every one of her kids out in the suburbs, none of whom we had ever seen visit her. And I was never sure whether my Midwestern manners or my bladder would give way first. But finally, she'd release me, and I made it. After these encounters, back in the apartment, Sharon and I would compare notes. First, we knew that the cat lady had lost her daughter. We knew that Miss Julie had been misplaced by all of her kids. But come to think of it, I mean, I had lost almost all of my grandparents before I was even born. So I had never been around old people like Julie much. And, I'd certainly never been around anybody who was crazy. And after 4 years as a theater major, this was great. I mean, it's like Tennessee Williams in a Minneapolis apartment building. I mean, these neighbors were nothing like the neighbors that I had grown up next to. I mean, in those post-World War II GI housing tracts, small 2-bedroom, 1-bath homes lined up neatly along gently curving streets. I want to take part of that back, actually. Actually, the cat lady looked like any number of those middle-aged moms that had raised my friends before we all packed up and headed out into the world. But she moved as if she lived on this planet with much higher gravity, so that walking required her constant attention. I mean, even out in the hallway. And so as time went on, we would dance the dance. I mean, I would peer tight-bladdered into the hallway while Julie waited behind her door, storing up words, and the cat lady looked for her lost loved ones. Now, sometimes in the evening, we would feel this icy breeze underneath the apartment door, and we knew that the cat lady had left the stair doors open again so that her cat Tommy could find its way home. Now, later on, I would meet her in the hallway, she in a shawl, me in a sweater, both of us trying for the bathroom. And I could no more than just look at the open stair doors when she was already excited. Miss Julie, who lives between us, keeps shutting the doors, saying, what does she care about cats? And she is no friend of mine. I miss Tommy, though, he used to howl, which he used to do when my husband, who used to come to visit, used to beat him, like he used to beat the kids, which is why they're all in foster homes. I mean, their eyes all red from crying, like Kitty's eyes used to get when he was very angry. Like, I wish my eyes could get like fire. Plus, I think the spirit of my little girl wants it open because she hasn't been able to find her way home recently because she's been stuck in the pipes like she was once, which is why I don't really like to flush the toilet. This may sound crazy, but I just think that Tommy and my little girl want it open. I I do not have any answer to any of that. I'm not used to this yet. I keep telling myself that the world has got to be kidding. And so, in the spirit of trapped and tight-bladdered cooperation, I suggest that perhaps we ought to turn on all the faucets in an effort to free her. And I know. And yes, the cat lady turns and rushes back to her kitchen sink, and I feel like a jerk. Still, the bathroom is open. And I will admit that the theater major soul in me just kept waiting for the next fantastic scene to appear before me. But after 2 or 3 months, and despite the opportunities for character development, after a while, I began to wonder whether I really needed to know what was going on in all of the other apartments or in people's heads. Thank you. But Miss Julie, like a surveillance camera, or maybe St. Peter, Miss Julie knew all. And so I would find myself 1 foot in the bathroom, Julie at my elbow for the next cat lady report. She tells me she dreams. I said, what? She said, he cut the heart out of me. I said, what are you talking about? She said, I saw it hanging on the wall. I said, you're talking way out in space, dear. She said, I'm going to hide all my butcher knives. And I said to myself, she's crazy, crazy. You see, I asked the caretaker why he even rented to it. Didn't he look into her eyes? Plus, her cat's is filthy, not clean like your dog's. And so we would dance the dance, and Sharon and I lived our lives. But sometimes we would hear that first clink of porcelain, and then nothing for a long, long while, and we knew that the cat lady had fallen asleep in the toilet again. Now, I knew that if push came to shove, I could walk around to the other hallway on our floor and use the bathroom over there, but it was frowned upon. There were 3 apartments and 1 bathroom to each hallway. There is no telling what might happen if a 4th apartment used that same bathroom. There could be anarchy. Someone could get stuck in the pipes. And so I waited. I mean, I knew what was going to happen because I had just spent several months peering through a crack in my doorway. Now, after that first clink of porcelain, and nothing for a long, long while, Julie's door would open. I mean, apparently she didn't teleport in these circumstances. Julie's door would open, and she would slip across the hallway and into the bathroom, wake the cat lady, scold her, pull yourself together, Margaret. Flush, put the top back on the toilet, help the cat lady pull herself together. And then she would lead the cat lady out of the bathroom, and peering through the crack in my doorway, I would watch them start down the hallway very slowly toward the front of the building and the cat lady's apartment, moving as if they lived on a planet with much higher gravity and so far, far away from my own. But at the cat lady's apartment, Julie would set herself while the cat lady scolded her. Pull yourself together, Julie. And watching her shoulders, I could see Julie sigh and I know roll her eyes. But then Julie would open the door and manage to herd the cat lady into the apartment while blocking the escape of 17 cats with just her feet. My friends, the footwork was amazing, and there was not one cat lost. That's right. I remember them still.